How do you feel about getting back a little bit of being able to go out a little bit more to places that you used to be able to go? Instead of looking at an ocean, now you can actually be with it again. You can swim. Just don't be with your beer sitting out there. don't be that guy. Don't ruin it for people. How has it been for you, and how are you being with going from no, we're not doing that, to yes, we're doing a little bit again? Are you embracing it? No, I'm just gonna stay home just in case, just to be, enjoying myself instead. Some people will have some strong opinions about like we all going through some changes. My question for you today is, what would you change about your life and how? Honestly, I don't know what I would change. Well, I guess if you're looking for better or worse, then yeah, sure, there's always things that we want to change for better. Coming from, seeing what else do I want. And also look at the context of coming from a creation point of view. Are you creating something new? Wanting something to change because you don't like something. So here's where the difference is. If you are staying in the vibration, I want to create something new, by all means, go for it. Is the best place to be. If you're coming from, I don't like this and I want that to change, not bad, but you do want to bring awareness to what you don't want. The universe doesn't know no. So if you don't want something, you want to look for the positive form. Remember what we talked about on Monday? Positive, negative is not about good or bad. It's just different. So this is something you don't want. What is it that you want? So you want to start looking that way rather than going like, I don't want that, don't give me that. You're actually putting focus on what you don't want, and the universe is going to give you more of that. So when you talk about change, transformation, shifting, pivoting, any of that, anytime you want things to be different, first off, you always hear people say, if you want things to turn out different, you got to do something different. So if you're always creating something that you don't want, you want to create something that you do want so that you can really tune into the energy of it. Yay, energy. Falling in love even more and appreciating is the creation energy. So you got the awareness of like, wow, I appreciate plants. I love it even more. It's gonna feed into that vibration where you're gonna create more. What makes you happy about planting? What kind of feelings does plants give you? It could be a person, it could be plants, it could be things, it could be food, it could be a hobby, it could be a job. Anything. It's all up to you to choose. Sometimes we may be confused and say like, oh, I don't know what lights me up, or what I liked doesn't get paid. You start having all these judgment around things that you love and you want to do, and that's when things doesn't go your way. Just a little facts for you. You want to look at all your judgment around it, all your conclusion about it. I have a friend who I just helped, and she say, oh, this job is really hard to get. You have to look a certain way, be a certain way. You have to have all these credentials. And to her, it was something that was never going to happen. She auditioned it so many times, it was never gonna happen. It wasn't until she sees that, all the judgment she has about it, and that's when all the limitations start lifting. And then she starts seeing the possibility of it. And then she aligned the energy of, hey, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. This job is mine. And then she starts creating that future for her. So that's how energy works. I just gave you the how. You want to start looking at what stops you. And then also looking at coming from contrast. Abraham Hicks always talking about contrast. What you don't like is where the contrast is. And it's not a bad thing. It's not negative as in like, oh, it's a bad thing that I don't want it. Look at what you don't want and start having that points to what you want. When you write down, this is something I learned. When you write down all the complaints you have about life, you can turn all those around and see what is it that you want. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know what I want. This is the most common thing. When I coach a lot of my female clients, when I ask them, what is it do you want in a person? You say you want a relationship. What is it that you want? They're like, I don't know. I just want a nice guy. They're like, just want a nice guy. Well, just want a nice guy can you be a little bit more specific about that? Because there's a lot of nice guys out there and it's very subjective. Nice guys to you could be an asshole to somebody. Just so. It's all point of view, it's all perspective. Something that you value doesn't mean somebody else will value the same. Something that you don't value could be gold for some other people. Start being a little bit more specific about what is it that you want. If you want to change the pattern of dating, you want to change the pattern of quality of life that you're having, if you say you want to live a certain lifestyle, you want to start looking at, am I living in that lifestyle? Not to say go beyond your means, but tap into the energy of it. If your life is luxury, would you only go for the so-called deals? Are you going for that just because doesn't mean you can't get the deal, but are you going for it just because I can catch a good deal, or because this is something that speaks luxury to you? See, there's a difference there. If you say, I want a nice guy, well, what does a nice guy means to you? Someone who is responsible, someone's like love family. You want to look for the value. You want to look for the juice. So the energy you want in that person, what value do you value that person? You have a certain beliefs and religion. You want to be specific about it. And then always know what's your, what it was called, deal breaker. What's your must have and what's your deal breaker. So to me, if a person is not into family, it's very hard for me to be with, because I enjoy the company of a family. I enjoy spending time connecting with my family. If a person who does not like dog or doesn't want anything to do with dog, will not walk a dog, that's a deal breaker for me. Anyone that smoke, that's probably goodbye. Because I sing. I'm not going to be able to be with someone who smoke, or I don't support it. These are the surface level, right? What value do you want to bring? I want someone who is very settled in themselves. They take care of themselves. Unless you mean, of course you can take care of them, doesn't mean you can, but not in a needing kind of way. You know, you can offer to take care of them, you can support each other, but it's not in a way of, I need you to fulfill me. That does not jam with me. We work together. It's a relationship. I bring 100% of me, you bring 100% of you. That's how I want my relationship to be. So you want to look at these things, or even look at the energy of money. How are you with your money? Are you clear? If you're not clear, how can you have that change if you're not even clear how much money coming in, how much money is going out? And if you keep doing that same thing, money is it's just gonna be the way it is. You have no say, you have no control. Where is change gonna happen? Nothing is gonna change. So you wanna start looking at all of them. Clarity is always in a deck of cards. Just kidding. Clarity is always here. So having change is all about knowing what you want to change and coming from a creation point of view, coming from the energy of creation, coming from something that you really lights you up. Because the more you love something, the more you're going to get involved in it, the more willing you're going to be to execute those action when you align your energy with it. So you want to really think about, what do I love to do? Allowing those limitations start showing up, because all you have to do is check in and say what have me not wanting to do this? If you are a person that likes to garden, if you let some bugs stop you, you want to look at, why am I not wanting to have bugs around? Were there any incidents in your life that have you be scared or afraid? Or sometimes can go as deep as programming. When you were little, you may have grown, pick up something from a tree and you fell, and you are traumatized for life that I will never do that, so I don't want to garden. Who knows? It takes you to go in there to discover that and allow yourself to take those action. But the first step is to discover, what is it that you really want? What is it that really lights you up, that you really love to do? That is where the starting point is. And then, of course, thoughts, feelings, and action. You want to start creating with your thoughts. You tap into the feeling of it, I'm excited, this is joyful, or or you just get like antsy about it, like you can't wait to go into it, you know, to go do it. Whatever that feeling gives you, like singing for me is freedom. It's self-expression. So these are the things you want to tap into, and then you go look at the actions. Like if I were to be a singer and performing, what would I do? Sing. Aligned action. Aligned to what kind of joy does it give you? Aligned with all the energy that you want to have in life, and have it be it. The action will show. Due to a lot of traveling I was doing, I stopped singing for a little bit. A few months before that, I created I Want to Sing Again. And I manifested 2 piano. I manifested a partner to play guitar for me, and I get to sing. It can happen this fast. It's whatever you want. So really look into what is it that you want, and you can start shifting of what you do and to start changing into like looking for that change. It's going into the creation of it. So coming back to that, and then we can always pull a card to get more guidance, and that's what we're going to do right here. This should be an easy one. Ooh, someone I've never pulled before. Hilarion, I think. It's a redhead guy. Divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your lights can support others. This is very interesting. Now, when you want that change, sometimes it isn't about just jumping into things. In the process of changing these things, in the whole process, there are steps that will show up that may require you to heal something. So for me, I heal the relationship with my ex-husband, and then I have been discovering the trust that I have with the universe again and again. It's the next level and then the next level. So now, tapping into my feminine energy, coming from love in every way possible, healing is showing up. It had me detach from looking at a person's behavior and start looking into the energy of it. And energy, let me give you an example. So the energy of my kid's dad, he's very hard work, very dominant, but at the same time, he's a very loving father. So for me, if I only see him as that dominant side of it, the behavior of it, because he's very straightforward and he's like, hey, do this, or there's nothing to talk about. So you can get irritated, you can get triggered, but he has this other side that you may not look at because you get triggered by the behavior. I'm the type of person way more linear, and it's okay, you know, let's look at it. So I have a lot of wiggle room because he's like the very strong energy. I'm like more feminine and soft. So that's how we were. And I'm looking at it as a person, how do I change that? Is me tapping into love, me tapping into looking at, seeing him differently, shifting my energy into aligning with love. If I'm seeing love from a person, I'm seeing him in love. Not talking about partner as in like romantic relationship, but simply as co-parenting. If any one of you out there is co-parenting, this always comes up. It is about seeing the other person as the loving person that you fell in love with. And then not looking at the behavior and simply go, I'm love. What do I see? Take away the limitation of, well, I do this and they don't do that. You want to look back and hear like, well, just because I choose not to be this straightforward, blunt, strict person, he chooses to be something else. I have a choice too. I don't have to be that, and it's okay for him to be that. And now, where can I stand in that? What energy can I align in is, I'm gonna do it my way, I'm gonna educate my children this way, and it's gonna be a loving way, and I see your love in them as well. Can we talk about it? If you can have a conversation, have a conversation. Start listening to their complaints. From every time you hear a complaint, there's something that they want. It's not happening. That's what complaint is about. If you can hear past a complaint, there's something that they want. A person who is dominant, usually they just want control. Not to say you let them control you. You can go in there and see, like, what is it that they're looking for? They're crying for love, or they're crying for help. So these are the things that you can look into. For me, what I saw is he was crying for love. He wants to express that love to his children, but in a very straightforward way. If I cannot make it wrong, then nothing is wrong. Then all we're looking at is, what can I change here? My perspective, my point of view. Create something new, shift my energy, clear all the judgment about this person, and aligned in love. Easy to say, and it can be easy to do. It takes you to give something up, something that doesn't serve you. If you can step into committing to having a loving relations with the person that you're like, things will shift. That I can promise you. Check in what you're aligned in. If you're aligned in this person is just the way it is, they're gonna be the way it is. Nothing's gonna change, nothing's gonna move. It's all gonna be the same because it's the same energy. Not to say to do this to manipulate and change a person. By you shifting your energy, something's gonna shift over there. Give it a shot. If you don't know how, comment, PM me. I'll show you how. And I just gave you the how. It may be confusing. I don't know. Does this make any sense? Comment and let me know. That aside, we're gonna talk about healing. The whole point of having those change, it's in the process of creating whatever that you love to do, what you want to do, what serves you, what lights you up. There's process of healing in there that we may not be aware of. Sometimes we're not willing to go in there because we have a fixed viewpoint of that doesn't work, that's not gonna happen. Or I tried this already, I tried that already, so it's not gonna work. So you wanna look and say, hey, what viewpoint do I have about this? Where does it come from? Was that a conditioning? Was it someone had done something to me, or something that I've heard, something that's from my parents or lineage, any of it? And then you can clear it out and bring some awareness to it and heal from it. A lot of time it disappeared. Quite a lot of time. Now, let's get into this card. I'm not too familiar with this master, actually. Let's see. Hilarion is a spiritual master who lived in the Middle East during the 4th century. At the age of 15, he felt the call to go to the retreat of Saint Anthony in the Egyptian desert. This was busy with people needing healing. So after a while, he went back home with some monks. During that time, his presence passed away, and it is said that Hilarion was so devoted to service, he gave all of their estate to his brothers and the poor. Wow, he's like totally selfless. For the rest of his life, he lived as a hermit in a cave and was said to perform miracles with his prayers and touch. To this day, he is dedicated to healing, but he also helps spiritual people who feel overly sensitive to overcome their challenges, integrate with the normal world. Oh, so he's like the ultimate healer. That's really cool. So let's look at the extended message. The world can seem overwhelming to you, and it's okay to retreat to a safe space every now and then to cleanse and recharge your energy. A lot of people are fearful, like, oh, what's gonna happen after that? Is this gonna escalate? Are we gonna have the second wave? All of it. So you wanna look at that. Allow yourself and give yourself time to cleanse and recharge your energy. And retreat to what feels safe for you. Everyone has a place that they feel comfortable and safe. Sometimes we can even hold that space for people. What I mean by holding that space for people is just to allow them to be without any judgment. Because a lot of time we don't feel safe because we're like, oh, I feel the judgment of you. Like when I say this, you think a certain thing, your programming is running, and then trigger my program's running, and then end up no talk. Or sometimes turn into a fight. Are you allowing that space for other people to just be? So are you having that safe space for yourself to just be? You may feel called to serve others, to share your healing with them, but please ensure you are filled up with light. So a lot of us wanting to help other people, but make sure that you are fulfilled. You're taking care of yourself before you do that, so that you're not giving in deficit. Fill up with light, love, energy first, so that you're not sacrificing your own development for others. Always take care of yourself. Not to say first or last, but it does require you to take care of yourself so you can serve in your best. You are surrounded by the healing light of Hilarion and the healing angels at this time so that you can recharge and feel whole. So sometimes when we go through a lot of emotions, we may feel like, I'll be honest, I still feel it. Like last night, it was just last night. All of a sudden I had this kind of pain in my ankle. I can feel it. It's like bothering me. But I have no activities or anything. I would just, all of a sudden I'm laying in bed and start hurting. So what I did is just let it be. That's why I love meditation. You just let it be and observe it and say like, hey, something is going on with my ankle right now. Is there any energy in there that needs to be clear? Is there any energy I picked up? Any body sensation I picked up? Send the white light, violet flame myself. I did a violet flame meditation last night. Just transmute it all. If it needs contribution, do something like that. Or when you're looking at yourself, how can I serve other people? Serve yourself. Serving yourself is a step of serving other people. This is why the whole mask thing is so important. When I saw a meme today say, if one person pee, they're not wearing pants, and you're not wearing pants, then it's everywhere. It's gonna get on you. You get splatter. And then if one person's wearing peeing, not wearing pants, and you're wearing pants, well, at least you get some splatter on your pants. But but if you're wearing pants and the other person's wearing pants and they pee stays there. I thought that was hilariously done, but so true. So if I'm spitting, I'm like, it may get on you. If you're wearing a mask, it's not gonna get on you, just get on the mask. But if I'm wearing a mask, my saliva can't get over to you. It makes sense. It just, anyway. I thought it was just funny with the pee example.
That's just weird.
It's a weird example, but I love it. I was like, it's so easy. Like, just think about it that way. You don't want pee on you. I don't want other people's like bodily fluid on me. So think about that. Like, it's not so much of protecting yourself, but it's just like, hey, that's not what I want. Would you want the virus? Unless you want the virus, sure. I'm like, okay. But if you want the virus, yes, it's a personal choice and I respect that. But think about, does your family want it? Does your kids want it? Does your partner want it? Does your parents want it? You may want to get like an agreement with them. If you all want it, then cool. No mask for you. Just saying. Think about it that way. And also, does the country as a whole want to have more? Not to say that is what's going to happen, but consider. That's what we call doing your part. You matter. Bottom line is you matter. Your action matter. So anyway, that's what I have for you. Healing, allow some healing to happen. Tune into some action that's aligned with what it is. If you want that change, start looking at what you want, start creating. And then if there's something you don't want, write them down and like, if I don't have this, what do I want? And start getting in the inquiries. What do I really want? Clarity is always within. Keep meditating. 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Don't judge it. If your brain is going crazy, that's okay too. Just go meditate and then allow yourself to have that break from this hamster wheel. Allow yourself to really like tune into yourself and say like, what is really going on? What is it really that I want? And that's what I do for life, for people. If you're someone who wants to have a change in your life and you don't know where to start, how to do, this is what I do. It may need some energy clearing, may need some lineage clearing, I don't know. PM me, comment, let me know how can I serve you? How can I support you? I do life coaching, I do energy work. We can look into what alignment you have and that create your reality. And we can make some major shift, or we can start with a little shift. But personally, I go for the major shift. because things can happen super fast and life can be however you want it to be. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the time that you give me and yourself. And I'll see you guys next time.